Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure and honor to deliver this opening statement on behalf of Ms. Haiyan Kian, Director of Division for Public Administration and Development Management of UNDESA, and also in my capacity as Chief of the e-Government branch. I would like to pay special tribute to the high-level dignitaries that honor us today with their presence. In particular, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to His Excellencies, Minister Yoon Kyu-myung of the Minister of Public Administration and Security, and his Vice Minister, Honorable Mr. Nam Seok Kim, to support this conference. I'm grateful to Your Excellencies and distinguished participants from many different parts of Asian Pacific region for enabling this opportunity to exchange knowledge and experience in e-governance. The geographic range of participants indicate that many governments all around the region are indeed striving to improve e-government policies in support of national development. Furthermore, a number of ASEAN countries has used their respective e-government policies to advance the United Nations internationally agreed development goals, including the Millennium Development Goals. Effective e-government policies has been a key factor toward transparency, accountability, avoiding corruption and leakages, streamlining welfare benefit, and having various other pro-poor benefits. All at the same time, as remarked by Mr. Shah Tzu Khan in his welcome video, the digital gap is still a challenge which we must address together in a spirit of cooperation under the United Nations umbrella. My expectation is that the conference on e-government in Asia and Pacific contribute to meet the challenges of the digital gap by facilitating successful experiences, knowledge sharing among those who are in a position to improve the quality of e-government and public service delivery, and help explore ways to enhance cooperation. The 5 sessions of this conference take the above into consideration and hopefully create an interactive environment that enables all participants to actively get involved in this discussion. The first section of the conference will address e-government development of the Asia-Pacific region, including current issues, opportunities, perceived challenges, and their relationship to national development. Indeed, as you know, e-government policy has been growing in the development agenda. The Asia and Pacific regions pioneer our global effort to hold regional e-government development conferences and establish an informal network of chief information officers worldwide, among other activities. Perhaps the most serious challenges for ASEAN Pacific is the fact that it embodies the same contrast found at the global level between Eastern and South Asia, for example. Another challenging feature is that apparently in the less developed sub-region, most portals and websites have remained stagnant since 2008, without the developing feature for civic engagement, which are now widely spread in the selected Eastern Asia country. My expectation is that this contrast will be addressed and discussed. Ideally, we would be able to outline lessons learned and concrete cooperation possibility to transform information exchange into action in partnership with all of you. Hopefully, this exercise will also serve to promote of guiding other regions on how to promote pragmatic intra-regional e-government cooperation to address national development goals. From the perspective of United Nations and particularly of DESA, as preliminary contribution of the first session debate, I will spend a few minutes to share with you some key global e-government trends. All these global trends will be assessed and reported in the forthcoming 2012 United Nations e-government survey. The first trend concerns the whole of government and one-stop service provision. An increasing number of governments realize that instead of making citizens to go to different institutions, it makes much more sense to connect these institutions so that public services are rendered more easily and effectively. We are interested to find out whether governments are creating one-stop service organizations through which citizens can access a wide range of services and undertake a wide range of transactions. The second one concerns accessibility of internet or mobile connectivity to all. Our interest is to continue promoting electronic and mobile government as a powerful development tool for good governance. Currently, there are countries that have more cell phones than people. However, the potential for mobile government application remains low. We are going to assess whether governments have shown an interest in internet penetration by either publishing statistics or providing a policy statement of this regard, whether government sites are currently displaced on mobile phone, and whether separate M-government sites are developed, and whether governments are promoting free internet access either in government buildings or through various hotspots. Other two self-explanatory trends include accessibility of services to vulnerable groups, as well as multi-channel service provision to diversity access and transform e-government into an effective citizen engagement mechanism. We are going to assess whether governments are providing customized services to the poor, the illiterate, the elderly, the young, women, immigrants, and other vulnerable groups, whether e-services are customized to their needs, and what personalization feature can be found on governmental portal. Last trend I want to mention is related to user take-up and training. As you know, it is not enough to design, develop, and put online an excellent portal if user take-up and capacity to follow up remain low. We are going to assess government's capacity building effort in provide training facilities and programs to users. Before moving to the second session of this conference, let me adding some concern about the connection between e-government and sustainability, also motivated by the Rio +20 conference called by the General Assembly to be held in Rio in June 2012. We strongly believe that e-government can have an important catalytic role in promoting and supporting the economic, social, and environmental pillars of sustainability. From our perspective, this initiative is a new effort to assess whether and how government address environmental concern. The second section of this conference will address institutional, legal, and regulatory frameworks, including participatory CIO e-government official forum. This forum will facilitate knowledge sharing while also exploring ways to collaboration among CIOs and e-government officials. I see this as another major challenge, as the institutional, legal, and regulatory framework for e-government development vary tremendously between regions and countries. The challenges is to outline unity within diversity. In other words, I expect that it will be possible to outline some key elements that would allow us to elaborate guidelines to support countries in the improvement of their framework for e-government development. My main concern is not to be prescriptive, but to be able to record regional guiding principles to promote change and improvement in e-government policy and practice, based on the vast experience gathered in this conference room. Another challenge is to strike a balance between freedom of information and open government on the one hand, with data protection and cybersecurity consideration on the other. We note the current trend that many governments are issuing simultaneously Freedom of Information Acts and cybersecurity legislation, but frequently without coordination between two. The third session of this conference will focus on country-specific e-government experiences. As you know, countries show enormous constraints in terms of geographical area population, density, socioeconomic levels, political history, cultural characteristics, and so on. We also know that ICTs as a tool can support government bridging these differences, but cannot provide the solution per se. This matter goes well beyond cyber optimism or cyber pessimism. In very concrete terms, we will be interested to learn more about challenges and opportunities for e-government in landlocked countries, in small island development states, in post-conflict situations, and in areas affected by disaster. All of us are aware that contrary to the popular belief, post-conflict, post-disaster, and other challenging situations may also present opportunities of leapfrogging development by adopting innovative practices of public administration, including the use of ICT in government to accelerate service deliveries. We are also aware that e-government policies can promote faster sharing and utilization of information, enhance cooperation with the relevant stakeholders, improved efficiency, outreach to remote areas, greater transparency and accountability, and 24/7 availability support to government processes critical for building public services. The question we should like to address is, within this different group, what kind of lessons learned from all these situations should be disseminated, and how to promote more systematic guidance to leapfrog development in Asia and Pacific. In this regard, the fourth thematic session of this conference will present one of our latest innovative of UNDESA called PACS, United Nations Public Administration Country Studies. UNPACS is envisioned as a comprehensive, up-to-date, and readily accessible online knowledge base in public administration. It will help governments in making evidence-based decisions by providing country data and global views and trends on conventional and emerging topics related to public administration on all over 192 United Member States. I'm pleased to inform you that the UNPACS technical platform is finalized at this stage. Content is being categorized by countries and regions and by teams with relevant linkages to the mandate of DPADM and specific goals of the MDGs. Within the field of the e-government development, the first stage of UNPACS includes information on the following sub-themes: national strategies and policies on e-government and ICT-led development, legal and regulatory framework, and chief information officer or equivalent, as well as institutional framework. However, collecting information on e-government is just the first step of a cycle that adds value to our knowledge, and UNPACs want to become a powerful tool to create a sort of knowledge value added chain fed by project, products, technical cooperation, and other institutional commitment like a conference, forum, etc. And in the last session, the possibility of producing a country e-government brief will be explored. Well beyond the collection of documents and other resources in UNPACs, this exercise of e-government represents a first concrete example of the second step of this cycle on how we can produce a knowledge value-added product. A first prototype under development by UNDESA will be introduced, and feedback solicited on the concept and the utility of producing e-government briefs in a standardized format and their relevance to e-government policy makers. In conclusion, we are clearly see that the Asia and Pacific region is vast and includes countries at different stages of e-government. This creates a challenge that other regions do not face and thus put the Asian Pacific in a unique position. My desire and my expectation is that this conference creates strategic partnerships among countries to promote the e-government situation in the region as a whole. I would like to end my statement by paraphrasing the last United Nations Committee expert of public administration, as they stated that the transformation of government into e-government is an irreversible process. Some governments still see the E as it applies only to electronic, but the effective ones see that E of the e-government as empowered government. Thank you very much for your attention.